the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard, and we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Huge Wednesday edition lined up, including former NFL MVP Rich Gannon coming up in 15 minutes. I tweeted this before the show, Pauly. We'll see how this reference goes over as Tupac opens California Love with, "Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West." That is exactly what we have now officially, right? And that's what everybody projected with the NIL in college athletics. And fitting that it happened out here with UNLV. I was blown away. I did not see this one coming, although you shouldn't be surprised, to be honest, because there are no rules and regulations. In theory, there are, but the NCAA can't enforce them.
Yep.
So who's the governing body? Mm-hmm. The answer is nobody. And then UNLV's quarterback, who's having a nice start to the season, Matthew Sluka, announced at 12:30 a.m. out here that he's going to redshirt and that he's not going to play any more games with UNLV this season based on certain representations that were made to him, which were not upheld after he enrolled. Here's one thing. I hope that this does not spark a trend in college sports. Please, let's not do that. And I don't know where your head is at with that possibility, Pauly, but it's now like the he said, she said game that's been going on for a good 12 hours after he made this announcement.
No, I'm not there. I number one, just get it in writing. You know, that's the one thing. Why, if it's in writing, you don't have a problem. You know,
is that it? That's all it's going to take?
I think that's one big thing. I don't think guys are going to quit in the middle of the season and say pay for play. And I
got news for you. 40 minutes ago, another player on UNLV announced the same exact thing. Their fourth leading rusher is going to redshirt, and he is going to enter the transfer portal at the end of the season. 2 players, same team.
Is he saying he was promised money?
He said,
or has he outperformed the deal?
He said that I'm grateful for UNLV and wish them nothing but success. Expectations for opportunities, unfortunately, were not met, and I'm excited to continue my football career.
Okay, well, that's tampering then. If someone reaches out, you can't have other schools reach out.
Why
and
can't
say,
you?
You can't do that.
Why, Paul?
Well,
why?
Okay, no one's in charge. You're right about that. But that's tampering, and then you have to sanction who's ever doing that. Then it is absolute anarchy. If you're going to say
somebody from Michigan right now, that's a billionaire. The Dolphins owner is a Michigan guy.
Yeah,
he could reach out right now to the Ohio State backup quarterback and say, "Here's $12 million. Announce that you're going to redshirt and don't play for Ohio State. We want you on our team next year." What's stopping him?
Got to have contracts and everything in writing. You know, I've been doing this over 20 years. I can't recall a story that has this many layers as well. As far as now, he wasn't registered as an agent. Nothing was signed. They didn't reach out until late August. Oh, by the way, the huge game is coming up Saturday.
Uh-huh.
You think about the other thing. We did pregame for years for this team. The SID reached out with the official statement, which we'll read from UNLV. They have sucked for 25 years.
Yeah.
They've been good twice. I also know Findlay Toyota is one of the biggest car dealerships in the world, and it's owned by Cliff Findlay. To think that if there was any problems or we just needed another bagman here where, hey, let's do this, we can make the playoff, reach out to Cliff Findlay or some of the major boosters, as your friend Steve Flynn tweeted, who's in the PR business out here, the Valley's got deep, deep pockets. None of this makes sense about what really happened here and what was promised. And he said, and I'll tell you another thing, how about Odom, the coach, telling him to pound sand? So that you also have several tweets saying, "Oh, okay, we don't go ahead. We like the backup. We don't need you anyways. Watch out."
Trust me, Pauly. My first beyond like, holy crap, this is actually happening. I hope this doesn't start a trend. My reaction was I gotta fade UNLV, and then I saw highlights of the backup quarterback. He might be better.
That's true. Yeah. But the earlier point was, did the assistant coach go rogue? Promise him $100,000. He's a transfer from Holy Cross. And I wasn't that impressed with what I saw anyways.
He's okay.
Yeah, sure. But is he worth that kind of money? So that just goes back to also with the why didn't the agent reach out earlier? Why was nothing in writing and all this other business and what the family's saying and UNLV is saying he wanted to get paid in order to continue to play. And that's a violation of the pay-for-play rules, also under Nevada state law. We don't do that. We don't, don't threaten us. And we did our due diligence, and bye-bye, you're out. So you quit the team. We'll carry on. We play Fresno State and a 3-point move on the game Saturday at home.
Okay, now what about this angle? Here's one report, and I've heard everything under the sun regarding this kid transferring now from UNLV. This is from Carl Reed on X. All financial commitments for UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka were completely met. But after think about this for 1 second. After wins against Kansas and Houston, Sluka's family hired an agent, and they collectively feel that his market value has increased, per a source. So how do you regulate that?
That's where you sign something and say you play for us for a year, and you just can't say, well, I'm out of here because
you're not quitting. You can't. Three games in, you're not going to.
Well, if I'm paying you, got to do a job. The other people coming back and saying he was promised money, he's not getting paid. I would have done the same thing at my job, but you also have to get it in writing, lesson learned. But as far as this, get it in writing. I'm paying you to perform. You have to finish the season. You can't say, and we had the situation in Florida, which was ugly, but you can't say, well, an SEC team is offering all this money. I'm gonna redshirt, and then I'm gonna go there next year.
But who's going to overlook this then if the NCAA can't really do anything about it? It's in writing, so now all these universities have to have lawyers look at everything, and then the players are all going to have agents, and they're going to have to agree to this. I don't think that we're even close to that at this point. Another one, Fox 5 here in Las Vegas, per a source. UNLV quarterback Matt Sluka has been approached with more money to transfer. That came in overnight. So sources are reaching out, and they're saying everything. It was popping. It was fast and furious, and there was no end in sight last night and this morning.
If he was that good and that valuable, they wouldn't come up with the money? Or is it just Odom is old school and say, okay, well, the backups. What do you think? The backup's
I think there's
fine?
something to that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Probably next man up.
We worked at the same company for like 15 years. You were there longer than I was. But every time we needed something, they went to Findlay Toyota, and they said, sure, no problem, we got you, because they love UNLV athletics, and they're dying for a winner, and everyone wants to be a part and involved in a winner. And to think they've been to 2 bowls in 24 years, and now you're talking playoff with a win over Kansas, with Boise coming up and Fresno coming up, that they wouldn't just get together and say, let's make this kid happy and let's go. And apparently we're going to give you $3,000 a month or $3,000 a week. That was on the table too, or something. I mean, the whole thing is bizarre. I just can't. I think it sounds to me like it went to the wrong person, and then they called his bluff and said, okay, fine. We don't think you're that good. A lot of the guys don't like you in the locker room. We like the backup. We're ready to cook. We're ready for Fresno.
I hate the idea of the entire thing. I mean, that is, unless, of course, UNLV agreed to pay him a certain amount, and they were not meeting those numbers. And I don't know who to believe or what to believe at this point.
Go back to the Cam Newton thing, which was ugly and a bad day for college football. And you're paying the dad and what happened. And then he comes out and will he be eligible? What happens? Oh, there he is against Alabama. Whoops. And they win the national title. I mean, I guess at that point, the same thing could have happened. But it's honor your word, but get it in writing. I guess Cam Newton could have said, pay off my dad's church, give me all this money, but then I can still go somewhere else and do the same thing. I don't know.
Well, I know this.
But we're also talking about a big difference in money, too. This isn't Cam Newton. This is a guy who has problems completing a 6-yard out.
Maybe everything changes by the beginning of next year or the end of this year into the beginning of next year, like in the springtime. We talk to Paul Stone every single Tuesday, professional sports bettor. We talk to Brad Powers tomorrow, every single Thursday during the football season. They go around the country making bets, future bets, games of the year, to win conferences, win totals, starting in, February, March. They might make national title bets in January, right? They're doing this the entire time. How will this impact what they think if the rules are not changed? Because I got to tell you, I love to bet futures. I'm much better with the futures than I am with the day-to-day stuff. Another thought that I had is I'm going to have to dial it back until there's something is set in concrete. Like the wording, the language, we can all agree to terms on this, and players are not allowed to make this happen anymore. I don't want to bet futures anymore at this point. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah. Boosters and or promises have to be met. You can't fumble the bag. And you also, as your friend tweeted out, there needs to be something set up here where it's just, okay, this is what we have, and this is what we're giving you, and here it is, and come on in, and then you'll get your cash or check, whatever it is, and that's how it's got to be set up with the NIL program. I mean, everyone's doing it now, so that's where UNLV can do a better job also with how this happened. But this is, I mean, he goes into Coach Odom's office, he tells him what's up, and he goes, okay, well, sorry, you leave. And then at 12:30 in the morning, sorry, guys, good luck to you, I'm out.
And the key here to one of these reports is the fact that they had 2 big early season games this year. They won them both. On the road against Houston, and then at Kansas. I know that was kind of a neutral, not at Kansas' home field, but it was still home game for them anyway.
But crushed Houston, who almost beat Oklahoma.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the point is here, I don't think, that point spread was close against Houston. They were big dogs against Kansas. And that's the part that scares me the most. Well, you did say you're going to give us this much money. Now I'm outperforming. Our expectations are better than what you thought at this point. We're overperforming the expectations. Now I'm going to need more cash. That's where the contracts that need to be signed.
Yeah.
And it has to be.
That's right. That prevents that.
Absolutely. That's 100%. It has to be binding.
But the other scenario is if he was promised $100,000 and only received $3,000.
Then he's got a case.
Yeah.
And let's hope that that's not the case across the country, because other players are going to follow suit then. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. NFL up next. Former MVP Rich Gannon on the program. Does Jacksonville have the look of a team that quit on their coach?
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
VSiN is thrilled to introduce a new VSiN.com tailor-made to the evolved needs of today's sports bettors. Our upgraded navigation streamlines your journey, allowing you to swiftly access articles, videos, and podcasts. Whether you're tuning in live or catching up on your favorite shows, everything is just a click away. VSiN.com guarantees a fluid and responsive experience across all devices, ensuring you stay connected wherever you are. We have enhanced tools such as our betting splits and expert picks, and introduce innovative features like parlay and odds calculators, all designed to make you a sharper bettor. Our how to bet section is perfect for beginners, covering the fundamentals, while seasoned bettors can delve into our advanced betting strategies for the competitive edge you've been looking for. Sign up for free on VSiN.com or become a VSiN Pro subscriber, where you can unlock unlimited access to every tool, expert picks, and insight that make VSiN the sports betting network.
Want to see who at VSiN is on a hot streak? Go to VSiN.com/picks to see all the selections and weekly leaderboard of VSiN hosts, writers, and guests. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber and get every pick sent to your inbox daily. Just head to VSiN.com/pro.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social, learn the game, and know the odds. Play with legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. Visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Love our Wednesday program. Every week, former NFL MVP Rich Gannon joins us here at this time, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line as we talk National Football League. Rich, always great to talk to you. How are you?
Guys, I'm doing great. This is my favorite day of the week when I get to hang out with Mitch and Pauly for a few minutes.
Back at you. So let's go back quickly here to Monday night. As a guy who was in the league for a long, long time, and you obviously watch it, every single week, and you have since then been an analyst for a long, long time and a great one at that. Can you tell when a team has quit maybe on its coach? Chargers did it last year to Brandon Staley in that primetime game against the Raiders. Did it look to you like maybe the Jags quit on Doug Peterson on Monday?
It's hard to use that word quit, right? Obviously the effort and finish wasn't what you'd expect in a primetime game on Monday night. And they really got to have it situation. You got to remember, guys, you only have 17 opportunities during the regular season. I think what's really disturbing is you see the Cowboys get punched right in the stomach against New Orleans and against the Ravens, and you just don't respond, right? So I think that tells you a little bit about what your locker room looks like. I think what really bothered me on Monday night when I watched the Jacksonville game, it was the body language and the demeanor of their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. This is a guy that's lost 8 straight games. He's turned the ball over 61 times since his rookie year in 2021. That's the most in the NFL. They've got to get that corrected. But his body language, you look to the quarterback for leadership, for toughness, for a sense of direction. And I just don't feel that right now with Trevor Lawrence. And I'm sure that bothers Doug Peterson as well. That's not a good look for a guy that you just gave $250 million to.
It's not just Jacksonville. It's the whole league, though, that seems to have problems 4th and short and 3rd and short and also red zone issues. Why do you think that is, and why do we see vanilla play calling and such bad play calling on 4th and short?
Pauly, because we don't practice it. We don't put the shoulder pads and helmets on. We don't have short yardage and goal line periods. We have walkthroughs and shorts and T-shirts. We don't get into the big formations with the big offensive linemen, extra offensive linemen, the big tight ends. You look what the Ravens do with Patrick Ricard. He's 6'3", 305 pounds. They knock you backwards in the running game. You look at what the Philadelphia Eagles do with Jalen Hurts and that offensive line, with the brotherly shove. You have to major in it. You can't just sprinkle it in. You watch what Chicago did down in the red zone there on 4th down. You look at look what happened to the Falcons. They lose that game against Kansas City on Sunday night because they can't convert 2 short yardage situations on the 13-yard line and the 6-yard line at the end of the game when it mattered the most. And teams are losing football games because they don't practice short yardage and goal line football. It's a big part of what we do. And unfortunately, too many teams aren't doing a very good job coaching that area.
Okay, that's an amazing answer. They absolutely need to start practicing stat with that. We've talked to you recently about the Viking start and Sam Darnold. Love KOC, love Flores as the DC. Darnold keeps getting better by the week, the way it appears, Rich. Do you think this is sustainable for the entire year there?
Well, I think they're keeping their fingers crossed, right? We know about his history of not taking care of the football and bad decisions. But, through 3 games, he's playing really well. You think about what they've done the last 2 weeks. They beat 49ers. They beat Houston. He throws 4 touchdowns against a pretty good Texans defense, a really good pass rush defense. I think he's playing well. I think Kevin O'Connell's done an amazing job, I think, managing that situation. They're running the ball really well with Aaron Jones. And, guys, pay attention to what they're doing defensively. It's a big story. They've got 16 sacks and 54 pressures through the first 3 weeks of the season. So they're playing great complementary football right now in Minnesota. Who would have thought after 3 weeks the Vikings would be atop their division?
No kidding. Huge game this week at Lambeau. Would you play Jordan Love this week?
I'd be careful. I like what I saw. He was out on the field prior to the game last week in Nashville, getting some reps in, warming up a little bit. He's close. It looks like he's getting close, but I'd be careful. You're going to roll him out there against Brian Flores and that defense. I just mentioned the numbers. They lead the league in sacks and pressures and quarterback hits. You want to make sure he can protect himself. You want to make sure he can avoid the big hits and he can, escape in the pocket. That's really important. But I give Matt LaFleur a lot of credit for what he's done with Malik Willis. Guys, he just walked in the door August 27th, okay? And they've won 2 games with him. These are bonus wins for the Green Bay Packers, and it's how they're doing it. He hasn't he threw the ball 14 times week 1. I think week 2. He threw it 18 times in week 3. So they're running the football. They're taking the ball away defensively. and they're really doing a great job managing that situation in Green Bay.
You were a part of some creative offenses and won an MVP. Does this stuff bother you as a former player when people make comments about cover 2 and it's not fair and it's not right and how it's also shutting down a lot of teams?
The best way to defeat cover 2 is by running the football. Force that safety to come down, get into some 8-man fronts. But look, I think people are saying, well, why are we running the ball? Why are the passing numbers down through the first 3 weeks of the season? I think there's other reasons for it. I think the fact that we don't practice in the offseason program. Quarterbacks aren't a part of quarterback school anymore. We don't put the pads on it. We don't play in the preseason. We don't play preseason games. We have 10 new starting quarterbacks that didn't start their team the year before. You've got so many new head coaches and play callers, players, offensive coordinators calling plays for the first time. I think you take all of that into the first 3 weeks of the season. Pad level's too high. The protections have been awful. Quarterbacks are getting hit too much. I think play callers are trying to be smart with the quarterbacks, and the numbers are down. But I think this is really an extension of the preseason, these first 3 regular season games. I think we'll start seeing more explosive plays in the passing game now that we've gotten through some of the rough edges of the first couple of weeks of the season.
Okay, so the O-line play will improve.
It has to. It's been terrible. Look what Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I could name a half dozen teams where, they're giving up 6 or 7 sacks a week. Mm-hmm. That's a recipe for disaster. I mean, we played 66 quarterbacks last year, guys. I think 60 the year before. At the rate we're going right now, that number might be 70. Look what's happened in Miami. Tua gets knocked out. Skylar Thompson gets knocked out against Seattle. Tim Boyle's next. I mean, they're getting guys off the street down there in South Florida trying to play quarterback for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Would you go Huntley this week? What's that process like when you talked about Willis earlier? He came into the building August 27th. Here you go. You called him 2 bonus wins for the Packers. Don't you have to go to Huntley because Boyle can't play?
I don't think you go to Huntley unless you really feel he could pick up this system. He can go out there. Here's the issue in Miami right now, guys. The impact this has on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Mm-hmm. I mean, their numbers are just disintegrating. I mean, this was the best offense in football last year, the fastest offense in football. Now, without the trigger, without the guy that can get them the ball in space and get them into the transition to the run, the yards after catch, the big plays down the field are disappearing in South Florida. And also the impact it has on the running game. Mostert hasn't been up here the last 2 weeks because of the chest injury, but Achane, it affects everybody when you don't have the quarterback in Miami.
All right. How much have you changed your opinion, if any at all? I'm guessing quite a bit. But your opinion on the Panthers after one game with Andy Dalton at quarterback?
I talked to someone in that organization prior to the change, and he said, we've got to find out about our roster. We don't know about our receivers and our tight end, the running back, the offensive line, because the quarterback's holding us back. We can't make a first down. We can't extend drives. They were converting 9% of their third downs prior to the switch over to Andy Dalton. And that first drive, guys, last week against the Raiders was significant. It sent a message to everybody on that Carolina sidelines. Hey, we got a chance now. Hey, we can win. They didn't feel that way with the other guy.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, excuse me. I'm so many names going there. But they didn't feel that way with Bryce Young. And in fairness to Bryce Young, he had 3 different head coaches and 3 different play callers in his first 18 games. That's dysfunctional. But it also sent a message to the Raiders. Guys, this isn't the same old Carolina football team. I'm just telling you, Andy Dalton makes the Carolina Panthers a completely different operation.
Have you seen enough from Daniels to think that he can take them to the playoffs?
I'm encouraged by what I've seen. Of all the rookie quarterbacks, I just think he's played the best, and it's not even close. I mean, he's completing over 70% of his passes. He hasn't turned it over. I think they've gone 2 games without punting, 17 drives where they've either scored or taken a kneel down.
Yeah.
I just love the decision-making that I'm seeing from this young quarterback. He can create and extend plays. He can run for first downs. What a great weapon the Washington Commanders have in Jaden Daniels.
Dan Quinn has a great defensive resume. He's been doing it for a long, long time. Even with the lack of talent on that side of the ball, is Quinn capable of making that unit better, you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to take some time. I mean, they got rid of some really good players last year, Montez Sweat and a couple of those other guys that are now wearing other uniforms. I just think that the pass rush has to improve. They have to be able to tie in the back end. They've given up a lot of explosives through the first 3 weeks of the season. Look what the Buccaneers did to them. Week 1, Baker Mayfield threw for 4 touchdowns. So they've got to get better with their rush. and not giving up the explosive plays in the back end. But if the quarterback, guys, keeps playing like he has, I think Washington could surprise some people in the East.
Yep, totally agree. Rich, awesome spot as always, man. We love talking to you. Thanks so much for your time today.
You guys are the best. Thanks.
There you go. Former NFL MVP Rich Gannon with us on the Progressive Guest Line every single Wednesday at 4:15 Eastern Time, 1:15 out here on the West Coast. Dynamite. Rapid fire. Guns a-blazing. Tons of energy.
The Lawrence stuff, phenomenal.
The body language.
I look to you as a leader, right?
Been saying that for a long time, man.
And you're gloomy Gus over there.
Up next, current playoff odds, a very busy weather report on today's card, and we think this is a really bad look for Major League Baseball. Let's follow the money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's got you covered for the start of the season with our football special. For $175, you'll get access to everything VSiN has to offer. With VSiN Pro, you'll receive daily picks straight to your inbox, detailed analysis on every game, and exclusive data like our betting splits to help you become a sharper bettor. Get all of this for just $175 through the Super Bowl. Or try a monthly subscription and get your first 30 days for only $9.99. Don't miss out on this offer. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Huge day today. Again, Major League Baseball. Welcome back. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. One game. It's in the bottom of the eighth. Mariners have taken a 5-1 lead at the Astros. One day after the team, Houston, clinched their division last night. And they sent Kikuchi to the mound today.
I'm surprised. Well, he went 6. He's still out there in the 6th.
He went 6 strong. He struck out 8.
Yeah.
So, that angle of fading teams the next day, and oh, by the way, clinched it last night, back for a day game today. You like to get after it.
Love that angle.
Kikuchi needs the 14 hours of sleep. Evidently, he got it because he was effective again today.
Man needs his 7 hours. So that's 3-0 if they hang on. It's 3-0 this year. I just do division winners or teams that really get after it with the celebration. I mean, that's like Orioles, no, okay, they're in. They still Orioles still have a chance, not going to do it. Padres, no, a lot more left to play for. What's on the table? No.
For sure.
So it's these, auto fade here, and it'll improve to 3-0 if they hang on. But you're right about how great this is in the races. I just hope we get drama Sunday, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Because the Twins lose again, Detroit wins, Kansas City wins, Seattle lost. Seattle needs a miracle, and then you hope to get it in the National League. I just hope we have some kind of drama after we looked like it was going to be madness going back.
Well, it might not be on Sunday. The drama might come on Monday.
Right.
Wah, wah. Nice job, MLB.
Sure.
Right?
So you're all over the NC2A, and rightfully so, because no one's in charge. Well, where's Manfred? And how this?
You want to talk about nobody in charge?
Okay. Number one, why are games still blacked out? This is you want people to watch your sport and get fans. Why are Dodger games blacked out when there's less than a week left in the season?
Paul,
it's ridiculous.
Paul, think about this. I wanted to break things over the MLB stupid blackout rule 15 years ago. I have fatigue.
What are you doing?
It sucks.
It's the best player ever, and I can't watch him.
Correct, yes. And oh, by the way, it's a pretty big series.
Yep.
With the Padres. Mm-hmm. And yet, nothing on TV here and a bunch of other spots as well. Give me a break.
Yeah. So Mets fans are all upset. Number one, they think they're going to blow it because the Braves own them, and it's been that way for a long, long time. So they think they're going to get swept. They're also worried about what's going to happen here because only Major League Baseball wouldn't plan ahead for a potential hurricane in what they're doing. The Atlanta Mets game Thursday is a makeup game. Yeah. They both had Monday off. What are they doing? Even Detroit yesterday moved that game up because they know about weather. And you can't have everything screwed up when the season ends Sunday and then the playoffs are supposed to start Tuesday. Garage League.
Very simple. Play the games on Monday, maybe even a doubleheader, get it out of the way. You could do that because now you're looking at, hey, look, no more tie. We actually have tiebreakers, so there's no more game 163. We don't want any games on Monday. Well, you might have a doubleheader.
I don't get this, though. You alerted me about this on Monday.
Yeah.
And here's Manfred in Major League Baseball, and they won't even move the game up.
There's a thing called a forecast, right? And so, again, this goes back to 3 or 4 days ago. Today, 80% chance of rain up to an inch. Not looking good. I think it's actually increased since then. Tomorrow, forget about it. Basically, if the forecast holds true, it's 100% chance of rain and 3 to 5 inches. And that goes back days now, plural. And you got baseball with an open day there for both teams. Nah, let's push it.
Yep.
Maybe the rain will go bye-bye for us. Yeah, you pray. Sure, good job.
Maybe they get lucky. Arizona loses out. So the other scenario, but it's a disgrace, and there's just so many things wrong with this sport, and it's easily fixable in stuff that someone in high school knows what you can do here.
And but here's the thing about the game tonight too.
Yeah.
Sale was supposed to go, right? The Braves held him until tonight. Could have easily put him in the game last night. Schwellenbach was really, really good, but the idea of Sale going yesterday and then Sunday existed. Okay, so. Are you going to start this game in Atlanta tonight surrounded by a hurricane? And then, oops, look at this. Now it's coming down again, cats and dogs. We got to pause the game and go to a 3-hour rain delay after 2 innings.
Yep.
I took a shot with Chris Sale's K's under at plus money, under 6.5 tonight. That's also kind of a hedge on a season-long bet that I have on him as well. But if that possibility's out there, who knows? Maybe The rains come and go. They try to squeeze it in. They can. It's bad again. They got to go to the bullpen. And he goes, I wouldn't think that they would do that in this spot to potentially play a doubleheader on Monday as well.
No, it's a good angle. No, I'm with you. Absolutely. And how things have opened up here for Detroit. No team since the wild card era has been 10 games out in mid-August and come back to make the playoffs. No team since the 73 Mets have been at least 8 games under 500 in August and come back to make the play. Detroit's going to do both.
Saw them.
Assuming there's no collapse here, and now they're big favorites, 1,100 at DraftKings to make the playoffs. Another Twins loss, and then all the scenarios where, what happens if they do this. If they go 4-1, they're in. If they go 3-2, the Twins have to win out. If they go 2-3, the Twins have to go 4-1. If they go 1-4, remember they close with the White Sox. If they go 1-4, the Twins have to go 3-2. I don't think the Twins can go 3-2 when you see how bad they play. And Detroit 28-11 run, best in baseball. What a turnaround! Incredible.
Yep. And now the Tigers have. By the way, I saw as high as minus 2,500 to get into.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Montero goes today. He allowed 5 earned at Baltimore. That was only 5 days ago. He pitched 5 innings of scoreless ball against the Orioles in the start before that. And in the start before that one, complete game shutout. It was the Rockies. They're pros. Littell, by the way, last 3 starts, 3-0, 18 innings, 0 earned runs, 16 Ks to 1 walk with a 1.55 FIP and a 0.39 WHIP. He has been Cy Young for 3 consecutive starts now, collectively. So he's been great, but the Tigers know what the drill is here. And Montero is laying $1.30 because they're so hot.
Yeah, I think I like the other side a little bit. I do.
You like the Rays?
I think the Rays, yeah. I know the air went out of the balloon because of that loss yesterday, but they showed some fight, and I think they'll be able to score some runs here. I'm a little concerned about Montero. But as far as these other games, I mean, it's hard. It's tough. You want to lay 225 with Zach Gallen? Arizona's got the 5th worst ERA since August 1st. What is going on? Blown out again at home. What do you do with Kansas City? They won, but they can't hit. They win 1-0 in 10 innings.
Uh-huh. And by the way, Lorenzen's going tonight, his last start with the Royals.
That's right. You're right.
August 27th, almost a month ago.
So, you're right. How long will he go? He'll be on a pitch count. So this is difficult. And, you want to lay $2 with the Twins? Be my guest.
Well, here's an angle on this one. Cabrera, he only lasted 2 1/3 against the Dodgers last time out, gave up 7 earned. It is the Dodgers. And that might have been the game that Ohtani went crazy, which has been basically every game this year. But he was solid in his 5 previous starts. You flip it and you look at Woods Richardson going today for Minnesota. How long is he going to go? I could not find an outs prop on him earlier today. He has not recorded 15 outs in 5 consecutive starts. So he can't even finish 5 full innings. That's been mission impossible now for a month.
Okay. You want Cleveland? 1.5 behind the Yankees. Yankees have the tiebreaker. Reds fired Bell. Cleveland took care of them last night. Cleveland has the 2nd-best home record in all of baseball. I don't mind the Guardians. And how about the big series out down the road with L.A.? I mean, the Padres are hot. And the 3rd time in 30 years, a walk-off triple play. Only time it's happened where a team clinches a playoff spot as a result in what happened.
So King was gritty and gutty again last night.
Yeah, he was. He didn't have much. He's getting squeezed, but got out of trouble. And it's Flaherty against Cease. They can do this. They are 8-3 this year against the Dodgers. If they sweep them, I'm not going to say the Dodgers just going to have an easy time of it in Coors. They have no pitching.
No, none.
And
those games could be slugfests.
Sure, and Buehler goes tomorrow, and the Rockies just gave him problems, and the Rockies have been playing spoiler here for 2-3 weeks.
We would, I think, for drama purposes this weekend, a Padres sweep here would be excellent if they could get it done. Well, what was the biggest number on San Diego to come back and win this division?
Well, I saw 18, I think, at the high. They're 20-1 right now to get the 1 seed.
Oh, my goodness.
The Dodgers are 6-1 to get the 4 seed.
Wow.
So they're up 2, and the Padres have the tiebreaker. When you have no one other than Flaherty, you can't count on anybody that the Dodgers have in their rotation.
I'll give you an angle in a game that many people will consider meaningless, but you can bet on this stuff, so it's really not.
Yeah, right.
I bet it last night before first pitch. I think I'm going to probably do it the next 2 days. It's the last series ever at the Coliseum. Now, does it really mean anything to the current players on the roster? Maybe not. But they've been playing in front of 14 people the entire year. And now I know tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be a sellout. Last game ever at the Coliseum. Automatic bet for me on Oakland because of it. And I bet them last night, and I might bet them again today. It's a short number. It's basically a pick 'em against the Rangers.
I like it. I saw the guy took his seat out yesterday.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that going on.
I know. All right, our NHL betting guide's out now. Previews every team, Stanley Cup odds and predictions and best bets. Get your VSiN Pro subscription today for as little as $9.99. Get your copy of the guide. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting systems and the videos and the betting splits. $9.99 your first month. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now.
Up next, Paul's going to recap a lot of last night's betting action and win some, lose some here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off-season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
Looking for the ultimate sports betting podcasts? VSiN has got you covered. With a wide range of podcasts covering every major sport, we're here to help you make smarter bets every season. The Baseball Betting Show with Greg Peterson gives you daily insights into finding value on each day's MLB card. And check out Long Shots, where we deep dive into the world of golf betting, providing you with expert insights to help you bet every tournament. Find all of these podcasts and more at VSiN.com/podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Baltimore plus 145. They beat the Yankees, who have to put the champagne on ice for another night. Miami plus 215. Miami plus 325. Reverse run line. Twins can't hit now either. 7 games without a home run. They've turned on the manager and the ownership. Games aren't on. Epic collapse by Minnesota. Cleveland, $1.65 up to $1.95 winner. Most runs, Giants 28-1. Hello.
Oh, and don't forget, by the way, could have been worse. Corbin Carroll robbed a 3-run shot early in that game.
Yep, subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. Are you ready for Wheel of Fortune video poker? Look at that setup. We have Andy coming in.
I'm already in.
So am I. With the denominations and how it's going to work. Please tell me more. Huh?
I know where you're going to be at 4 a.m. waiting for Man City Arsenal.
Yeah, look at that. He's got the setup, sit down, the wheel on the top, the wheel on the middle, how that's going to work out, where it's
shiny, bright lights.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, it's amazing.
Sure, absolutely. It is. All right, this one, great dog video. It's called It Comes with Subwoofers. You got the dog and his puppies on the side in a little bag where it looks like coming in set up.
Epic.
The little puppies there in the pocket with his carrier. Fits in beautifully. Yeah.
How big are those puppies? Or smaller those puppies?
Oh,
2 pounds?
Yeah, easy. No problem. Piece of cake. Look at his face. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I'm proud. Absolutely. Lose some. Diamondbacks, 135 up to 160. Not even close. Routed again. And the Mariners blew a 10-game lead in the division to the Astros. Why don't the Mariners have the tiebreaker over the Royals? Because they blew an 8-run lead in a game in June to Kansas City. They also had a guy try to steal home on a 3-0 count with the bases loaded last week. You had Rodriguez, who had to get out of the way by a flying bat when he was on third base in the winning run. And they threw him out as Rosarina struck out on the same play. They blew a 5-run lead in the 6th inning on Sunday. It's like, how are you going to miss the playoffs?
Well,
how can all this happen to one team?
Right. Also, the Royals might lose out. They are in horrendous shape.
I know,
they were
got
fortunate to
lucky.
walk away with that win last night.
I know. Some bad beats. Oh, no, so one lose some. I got a good lose some here. You know, I always love the hippos and hungry hippos. Look at this one. You're on a tour. Look at this guy coming at you. 6,000 pounds. And he can scoot. He's gaining steam. You better step on it, buddy. Yeah, you're in the boat going for a little tour, and then the hippo decides, get out of my area. I mean, look at the closing speed here, Mitch. Here he comes. Watch out. Put the phone down and haul ass. Oh,
that is Twisted Steel coming right at you with some massive chompers.
Yes, it is.
Come on, buddy.
Oh, man, he is angry.
Stay out of my neighborhood.
He's coming.
Here.
Yeah, he's coming. Look at this. You think it's funny? No! He's not going to take a bite out of people. One bad beat. The Angels. The White Sox were 0-78 this year. When trailing after 6, they were 0-94 when trailing after 7. 2-0 in the 8th. The White Sox get 3 to win. They still have to lose the next 2 games to set the all-time record for most home losses. Come on. Can you believe that? Nothing worse in this world than getting bombarded across social media with people trying to sell you subscriptions to betting picks without any transparency. If you ever get red hot and think your picks are worth money, Juice Reel is for you. The way sports bettors buy and sell betting advice. You and everyone else links their accounts into Juice Reel. All your history loads into the free app. Everyone's bets imported straight from the books. You're as good as your betting data says you are. Unlock the picks that real talented bettors have their money on. Get paid real money when other people unlock your picks. Fully transparent betting advice from real people. REEL. Download for free, iPhone or Android. Juice Reel. Get it now. Juice Reel.
Here is what Joel Sherman wrote at the New York Post for this Mets-Braves series. Evidently, the Braves didn't want to move the dates. They were hoping and praying again that the weather would go away. It's a hurricane. Sure.
Yeah.
The Mets and Braves are playing. This is the nightmare scenario that he unfolds here. The Mets and Braves are playing 18 innings Monday in Atlanta. And one of those teams might have to fly to Los Angeles, San Diego, or Milwaukee to begin the playoffs the next day. Best of a 3-game series over consecutive days. Thus, 18 innings Monday at full throttle, a flight perhaps to the West Coast, and having exhausted players trying to recalibrate for a playoff series. It would also force at least one higher-seeded team, maybe more depending on seeding, to wait until the night before to know who their opponent is.
And the Mets would catch a break that they don't see Sale.
No question.
No doubt. You got to throw Sale against Kansas City. What a joke.
Yeah, and then Sale's going to be on, 8 days rest under that scenario?
Uh-huh.
At least 7 days rest?
Yeah. This is from our producer, Luke. He was watching the Yankees game last night, TBS, and then it shut off in the 8th inning, blackout, because the Dodger game had started.
Luke, I'm guessing, 7 o'clock, first pitch? Something in the algorithm?
What
once you hit
doing?
a certain time, game's going to have to go bye-bye?
It's a dog and pony show.
I can't. I mean, don't you want as many games as possible on TV? I mean, high school football games are on ESPN every single Friday night.
Yeah.
Right? You can find the lowest of lowest divisions, college football, streaming services if you would like to find it.
I'm 4 hours away. I'm going to jump in the car and just, I got to go to the Dodger game. That's what.
Well, the worst was the Bay Area.
Yeah, Bay Area too.
8.5, 9-hour drive. Hey, kids, get in the car. It's 4 a.m. We're going to take a 12-hour drive up there to watch the game tonight and then come back home.
We also, we walked into something good yesterday at the end of the show. Derek Stevens doesn't go to the movies, but he gets the popcorn. He loves the movie popcorn. So I tweeted it out there. The reaction was incredible. This is from Pete in Iowa. My wife ran an AMC movie theater for 16 years. You won't believe the amount of people that stop daily just to buy popcorn. 5 to 10 minimum. Walk in, right to the concessions, walk out with the popcorn. AMC had a great marketing idea back in 2017 where they sold reusable buckets. A customer could buy a bucket for $20 for the year, and then you come in and refill it for $4 or $5 each visit. I mean, it's super cheap, and the large popcorn, usually $10 minimum.
Yeah, I want to know the average age of the person coming there every single day to the theater to buy popcorn and then leave. 84 years old? You want to go
maybe,
over?
I don't know. Yeah, right. Cast iron, pot with lid, yellow seed and oil, topping with Land O'Lakes butter with white cheddar salt. My wife does the best job. That's from Pete. That's a thing. Who knew?
You get the large every time you go?
Unbelievable.
How big do you get? What's the tub?
I can't do that. But the things, I like it when they drown the sucker in
sure.
butter, though.
But when they do that, and I put like some of the seasoning on, like they have like the nacho cheese seasoning and the dill pickle or whatever, you can get a little creative.
Yeah.
I can eat like half of it, and my stomach's like, Mitch, I got to tap out, please. For the love of God.
Yeah.
I can take this much, but any more, you're really pressing it,
Well,
pal.
you need like 20 napkins, too. I mean, that's
sure,
how you want it. You just want it this, and that's the butter is key there. I mean, it makes everything go. It sets the table. It's a good Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have that. But I just go for the one. I don't know what the medium or the small, but it's big enough. I mean,
you're not going to get the extra large.
You don't want to
big
overdo
enough for 12 people.
Yeah, you get the crap in your teeth, and then it's all over your fingers or whatever.
You choke on the husks, that kind of part.
Yeah.
Can I say that also, as we're getting older, like these late dinners, man, I did a late dinner the other night. I was so impacted that I only got like 4 hours of sleep, and then I didn't even eat yesterday until 7 o'clock last night.
It's a bad idea to eat after you eat at 8 o'clock.
Oh, we were out until
Don't do it.
way late Monday night after the game, and I did not eat until 7 o'clock last night, and I'm still having problems like today. Like, what, this is normal? So I can't even forget about it? Scratch off dinners at 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock? That can't happen?
Yeah. Can't go heavy either.
No, because then it's
9 o'clock, you can have like a steak and.
Yeah, I went really
something
heavy.
That'd be right. A big pasta meal. That's again.
The heart's racing like I just ran a marathon.
Yeah, no
body shaking. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. How am I going to fall asleep now? This is awful.
Get cheesecake and sit there and
just eat it nonstop
and laugh at her jokes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God,
call it a day.
That really hit me hard because I haven't had a late dinner and we did the mornings for 7 years. I'm in bed, in bed by 6 o'clock. I told my wife always, "Hey, let's go get a bite at 5 o'clock." Are you nuts? I'd be like, "I'm eating dinner at 3:30."
Mm-hmm.
So now, just like trying to flip the old lifestyle, it's not taken so far.
Yeah.
Wonder what would happen if I went to a happy hour to watch games and had, let's say, 18 chicken wings and about 6 beers. What, now 3 days I'm going to be feeling that? Is that what happens in your upper 40s now?
Yeah.
Golly, that was every single day in the 20s.
Yeah, you didn't need sleep, didn't need anything. Just, you'd have 12 beers, wake up, no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up next, Del Paolantonio on the program from ESPN. We'll find out who he likes this week in the NFL. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A new football season means a new lineup on VSiN. Start your day with sharp betting analysis